Let's play Space Giraffe, an unusual semi-psychedelic shooter by Llamasoft. Hopefully this voiceover goes better and the sound stays stable. Llamasoft is a studio created by Jeff Minter, who was very busy in the 90s making games and doing ports, especially for the Jaguar system. He ported Tempest from the arcades, as well as making Tempest 3000 and a bunch of other games, and you can see the influence of Tempest on here. Space Giraffe is a shooter where your character, the giraffe, which does not look like a giraffe, moves along that railing. As you shoot enemies, it extends your level to the dots in the background. You get points for shooting them. You get more points if the enemies come up to your railing and you bull them off, which is where you hear that bomber plane noise, like the diving noise. And if you bull off a bunch of enemies, it increases your multiplier. You also want to pick up pods, which are like cylindrical pink things. Pick up 3 or 4 and you get faster bullets. You pick up another one, you get an extra life. Right there I just picked up a pod. There, just bulled a bunch of enemies off the rail. When you hear that yes, 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 that means you had a pretty good score on that level. You were pretty much par. What you want to do is rinse each level. If you're rinsing, that means you're above par score for the level. And you get more points for bullying the enemies off the thing than shooting them. But sometimes you have to shoot them ahead of time. There's bullets that come down. They're very colorful, and right there I just got hit by one. They make telephone noises. Those bullets, when you shoot them, they go back into the background in space and slowly come back towards the level. And if you can shoot a bunch of them and keep them in the background and then complete the level of all the other enemies, then you get bonus points for each of the bullets. It's a sneeze, or an arcal sneezer, as the game calls it. And if you get a whole bunch of pods in one level, you get an ox token, which goes eventually to the bonus round. The first time you get it, I think it's just 1 ox token, so the first time you get the ox, you get to go to the bonus round in the next level. After that, it takes multiple pods and multiple ox tokens to open up the bonus. The highest multiplier you can get is 9. And you know, if you die, your multiplier resets, obviously. Your multiplier carries to the end of the level, picking up the bullets in space, and then if you activate the bonus round, but it resets at the beginning of the next level. So the main goal is to get that multiplier up as quick as possible, so you're getting maximum points from your hoof shots. I really like the sense of humor of the game. It's weird, it's kind of hyper. It was one of the early original games available on 360's Live Arcade. The first level was called Eyes of Allard. That was after Jay Allard, who was the design director for 360. He had kind of an infamous E3 conference where he had Grand Theft Auto 4 tattooed on his arm. Anyway, Jeff Mintner, the guy that did this, also made a game called Polybius, an actual game based on the fictional Polybius game from the 80s, which was supposed to be kind of a weird thing where people played it and then disappeared. I made an actual playable Polybius, and it was featured in the 9 Inch Nails video for Are You More Than? I believe it's called Less Than. No, it's called Less Than. Fucking terrible memory. Yeah, the 9 Inch Nails song Less Than, a couple years ago, like 2016. Cool song, cool video. Trent Reznor's known to have kind of a connection for video game stuff. He did the soundtrack for the original Quake, and he was doing the soundtrack for the Doom remake, but that stuff was eventually dropped. Anyways, Space Giraffe, it's a fun shooter. It's very weird, but it's fun as like a score attack thing. Right there I had kind of a shitty score. You can continue as much as you want, and you can set to start at whatever level you want, whatever level you've attained. So progress isn't really an issue, but you start with 0 score, so you know, it's up to you how you want to do your score run. This is a cool, you know, original shooter on 360, because Live Arcade at the time, the first couple of years the Xbox 360 Live Arcade was out, it was mostly about porting games that already existed, like older arcade titles and such. Contra, the Ninja Turtles, arcade beat 'em up, things like that. Space Invaders. This was one of the earlier originals, and the day it released, the port of Frogger also released, and Jeff Mintner posted on his blog, you know, he had a few thousand downloads of Space Giraffe on that day, but Frogger had hundreds of thousands of downloads, and he was like, people really want to buy and play the same shit again over and over? And the answer obviously is yes. That was a big deal on 360 at the time. Older gamers wanted to have the games for their quote-unquote arcade. That's why it was called Xbox Live Arcade. And as we now know in 2018, it's a fact, people love rebuying the same fucking games on different platforms to have them all in one spot. But I thought the anecdote was funny. Anyway, Jeff Mintner has been successful, and I do agree with his sentiment though. A lot more people bought the same shit they already owned and already played rather than trying an original shooter. But obviously this game isn't for everybody. It's very strange and unusual. And a lot of the reviews I've seen, that people that just tried it without buying it, they complain about the visual style actually impeding the gameplay and such. What's going on is the Xbox 360 operating system had a visualizer for music when you were listening to stuff, and this game actually uses a visualizer for making backgrounds. So that's what you're seeing in the background space. Like I said, every level is unique, and every background is unique, and the visualizer is, you know, changing it in real time based on the music. And one of the cool features with the Xbox 360 was that you could be playing music that was loaded on the system in the background of games and turn off the game music, and Space Giraffe would also do that. I used to love playing this game while listening to a mix of 9 Inch Nails music I had, and it seemed to go really well with it. Mostly 9 Inch Nails plus a little bit of like Juno Reactor, a little bit of KMFDM and Ministry, Skinny Puppy. Anyway, cool shooter, kind of obscure now. A hidden gem, if you would. I believe it's available on Steam as well for PC. But yeah, fucking Space Giraffe. It has nothing to do with giraffes. The closest it comes is your weird little monkey guy that's moving on the railing. Kind of has a giraffe texture in the bonus rounds, which I don't even know if it shows up in this video because I was doing so shitty I didn't get the bonus rounds. It's amazing to me. I've played this game so much, but I'm kind of bad.